Good morning, everyone. It's been a really funky fall and winter. The house is in a major need of a pressure wash again. I have so much I want to say. But I think I'm going to start with, it's been really warm all winter here with some cold snaps, but it's been one of those winters where we had a mild winter with some cold snaps. But the cold snaps were really short-lived, which is not normal here for the Adirondacks. We've been in the 50s and 60s, and today is going to be 50-something, tomorrow is going to be 40, and then we go back down to 30s and 20s during the day for about a week, a little over a week. And there's some nights in there that are in the teens and even in the negatives. So I thought I'd get out today and show you guys what a Jack-in-the-Box spring looks like. So it's not spring yet, but the birds are tweeting and there's some things growing. And we just have to get through this last bit of week, a little over a week, and we should be on our way. But yeah, so I'm going to take you guys out to the garden area and show you guys the cleanup that we have to get done. And we have a lot of cleanup in a lot of different areas around the home. All right. So as you can see, we have patches of all kinds of things. And then we have a lot of snow, a lot of things that have blown around. We've had a lot of winds. We have a lot of pickup to do. But here is where the cucumbers were. And we need to get all that off. So we're gonna amend our soil. This is the bricks and stone that we did this year. So I'm gonna have to go through lightly with a rake so I don't get all this stone all over the yard. But this is what I didn't pull out of here last year. So this all needs raked out, turned, amended. This is where the tomatoes were. And they're all gonna have to get yanked out. But our ground is still very frozen. So there's nothing that's gonna come out to do much of anything yet. This is the citronella plant that was really huge on this end. But the thyme is all still growing and smells so good. And the sage is coming back. And this plant's coming back, so I'm gonna have to cut a lot of those things. I have to cut the rose bush. The fox are coming back. The strawberries. These strawberries are nuts. I've got all kinds of things. I don't know what this is. Underneath, I'm gonna keep all this ground cover though, because like I said, we still have another cold snap. So cover with some things with some leaves and yeah, keep everything good. But yeah, the strawberries have trailed all the way over there, all the way out there. So this guy's coming back. It's still really, really chilly. So it looks like some of our King Henry violas, the Johnny Jump Up violas, are coming back, which is really different. So this one will come back. But as you can see, it's frozen, but in there, it's definitely coming back. There's some more thyme. This was the Thai basil. I can cut these off, and it does. I don't know. We'll see, but I doubt it. And there's some more herbs coming in between the walk up here. The coral bells are coming back. So this plant here is growing. We'd have some cilantro. We had some coming up. I don't know what happened to it, but that should come up right here. The foxglove, I'm not sure if it made it or not. And this plant over here, it looks like it got twisted. So we'll see how that works. But you can see the pickup of the pine needles. Pine needles galore. So we're gonna take all the compost and put that into the beds. And we'll get those, again, we'll get all this stuff out. It's still frozen. This is where our cow was. The onions started to regrow. And those pepper plants will all come out. This is where we put some of our ash. So yeah, the compost will be, minus the branches and some of the top pine needles, they'll be all getting turned into the beds with new soil. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of work to do. The planter that we had last year, oh, forgive me, it's cold. The planter that we had last year that we used the pallet for, a lot of those plants got put in here. So you can see where they're growing back, but then with the Jack-in-a-Box spring, this one has gotten snapped with the cold at night. So the creeping Jenny, of course, always comes back. Dusty Millers don't usually come back. The German iris is coming back out of the pond. We did unplug this pond and move the fish out front. This grass will all get cut. I haven't really checked in here, but I guess this comes back, so we'll see. And this is supposed to come back as well, but again, we're gonna see. The lighthouse got broke. It's cold. So yeah, as you guys can see, a lot of things, garbage even blew around. As you guys can see, this is going to be a huge pickup this year. The wood piles fell down, some of them. Yep, the deer kept hopping over them. We have fence laying down there. All the way out there, we have a bunch of junk going on that needs cleaned up. Whew. The ground's still frozen. So up here, this is coming back, the strawberries. So that'll be good. Anyways, that's pretty much what we got going, and that's just out here. So out front and on the sides and our back patio and our garage, it's just a mess. So yeah, as you can see, it's horrendous around here, and it's like this most every spring. Yeah, most every spring, and I've got some kind of eye junk still. I'm not sure if we're gonna get a dumpster this year or not. Probably. It'd probably be cheaper just to get one and get it all done in one shot. The yard cleanup is gonna be really, really hard. Yeah, So we have all this wood laying around, and we have the whole fenced in area that we got done last year. So this has been a bit of a pain in the butt with going in and out of here in the winter. We had to keep things shoveled. But Junior made it okay. I do have one fish that keeps laying down, and she's old. So I'm thinking that she's probably not going to make it till spring. But I have hopes that she will. But the rest are all doing fine. It's just the one white fish with a really pretty the butterfly fantail with the blue eyes. Yeah. And then I have doggy duty to pick up. Just this year, though, it's just inside the fence. So this was our manger this year, but we've got lots and lots of doggy bombs, as I like to call them. And it's been very, very mossy. Oh, I flipped you guys upside down. Oops. So, yeah. That's been about it. These flax, again with the upside down. I guess I didn't tighten this. These flax have been doing pretty well, and I was surprised being in the planter, and our planter didn't even crack, which is also surprising. But again, we didn't have the winter that we normally do. So I'm gonna have to go through this footage to see what happened with all the upside downs of the. I haven't used the selfie stick / tripod in a while, because I actually haven't done videos in a while. And I actually went through a time where I wasn't sure if I was going to be even doing videos anymore. Yeah. So I have this milk up here that went caca, and I'm going to put that in the beds for the tomatoes and stuff. Milk worked really good for us last year. Yeah. So I have a porch to clean off. All kinds of things to do. I have today and tomorrow to do a little bit, but I can't be out in the cold very much because of my muscles and my bones. It really gets into my body and really affects me in horrible, horrible ways. This winter I battled everything from infections to autoimmune issues to all the existing issues that I have. I even broke out in a rash with an infection. I had an infected tooth, and I thought maybe that was what was causing a lot of my issues, and I do still really think that that was causing some of my issues to rise up with inflammation and pain and nerves. My nerve endings, the myelin. But I'm still battling some of those things. So the rash came before everything else. And they put me on antibiotic, which I ended up being allergic to. So I'm still getting really, really rashy. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have to go and start doing an elimination in my diet. Yeah. I don't like that word, diet. It's really a naughty word. But yeah, I'm just really rashy. My arms got rashy in just this one spot on my arms this winter. It was so bad that it kept me awake. It kept me awake, and the doctors still don't know why. They don't know if it was neurological, with the neurological issues I have, or if it was an allergy or what. It went away mostly before I started the antibiotic. So I don't know if it was a stress trigger with everything else going on with the inflammation and an autoimmune response, or if it was something else. But it's like 95% better. So yeah, and it went fully away. But then every now and then, something, I can feel it. It's like at that moment where you can just kind of feel it. It's starting to happen. So then I just stop and assess the situation and be like, okay, I don't want this to, it's like this huge anxiety for me where I don't want this to start back up. So yeah, as you guys can see, I've got a lot to get done. This is going to take us months. And we started planting inside. We have some tomatoes growing, and I need to get my cucumbers planted in the house too. So let's go in and go see that. Okay, so I plant inside of an old fish tank that I tore down years ago. This is pretty much what's left in here. I moved most of the things into our kitchen, but these are still going really strong. I use fresh basil and parsley and oregano and just about everything I cook. And yes, I did stop that, so that doesn't have anything to do with any of my health issues. But the tomatoes, and I know there's too many plants in each one, and I planned that, and I planned the space. So what I'll do is, as they grow, I'll take some of the tomato plants and put them into their separate containers over here. I raised these ones up because I use this for lettuce over the winter, and I'm not doing that anymore. So I put some tomatoes up here, and now they're down here. And then I put the ones that were down here up here, if that makes any sense. So this was an oregano that I don't know what happened. This is one of the last one of 3 tomato plants that is left. It stopped producing tomatoes in December. However, this past month we have 2 more. So growing your little hanging toms, your little cherry tomatoes, in the house all winter has worked for us. Yeah. So, and then these are onions, just green onion. I've been chopping off all winter. The foliage to the ginger is gone. I've cut it. It turned to like this stuff, you know. But the ginger is doing very well in there. Yep. So we got a pretty okay, healthy tomato plant to put maybe back outside. I just wanted to see how it went. And then the basil in here, this is a reef tank light. So yeah, this is not meant for plants. However, it works pretty good for us. It used to be overhanging a fish tank. 20 years of salt water. I had gorgeous live rock and corals and fish, and well, that's done now. So the tank is still up. It's still running. I'm trying to sell it. I'm selling it cheap. No, I'm not giving any information about selling that tank on YouTube. So yeah. But anyway, I do have some leaves on here that need to get cut off because they're browning. And 2, I got lazy and I started sometimes hitting the leaves with a spray bottle with our well water, and you know, yeah. So it is what it is. It's fine. But I'm pretty happy that we had fresh basil. Some of you who followed some of the Cooking with Lake stuff know that I incorporated quite a bit of herbs from the house this year in the cooking. So, all right, that's enough of this. This is my crazy easel and my huge mess. It's a calendar I had in here. I have some organization to do in here. Every time this room gets cleaned up, it happens again. It's a constant battle. And then in the mix of the things on this side of the room, my daughter has gotten a Boss recorder with a microphone, and headphones. So she's been in here recording and doing things. Yeah, I've got paint on the wall recently, so everything's kind of mixed in, but we're gonna figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually. So I've been painting again, and I still have to do the foreground on this one. But again, for all of y'all who have been following, it's been very busy painting year for me. Yeah. I did do this one that I'm like really happy with. There's some more. People seem to like this winter one the best because of the water. I have not picked up or done anything in this house today. I've taken this Monday to kind of just chill out. But there's a painting that I've done up there just recently, which oddly I'm really happy with. And some of you all who, we kind of hang out in like a StreamYard of a backstage, and this weekend I painted while they chit-chatted, and I chit-chatted with them as well. And then we have a dresser that, you know, we use under our TV, and I painted the drawers. My daughter's pottery wheel and stuff is down here. This house is kind of funny. We just do whatever we want. It's lived in. I have a drill out from things that I was doing, and yeah, so a spray bottle. But as you can see, there's just lots of crazy things that have happened. That was a painting that I did for Bigfoot for Christmas. I gave it to him Christmas Eve. Here's another painting that I oddly absolutely love. If you guys can see that one. I love that one. Eventually we're gonna get to a point where, you know, my husband's gonna have to stop saying he wants that, he's gonna hang that. A lot of people are asking me, why don't you sell your paintings? I don't know, I never have. I used to paint a long time ago, and then there was things that happened in my life that I stopped. I just stopped. Another thing I did is I got myself into trouble at Hobby Lobby, and I went and got one of these things and decorated it. This painting down here, the dog put her foot through it because I had it in our bedroom, like up against something, and she jumped off the bed and things happened and crazy. It was a crazy day. And she put her foot through it. So I kind of hid that bottom log where it got ripped with some greenery and put it here to kind of display it until I decide to redo this painting again. And then this one can, I don't know what I'll do with it. Probably burn it. But yeah, so, but I won't do that until I can replicate that. Yeah. So, I've just been kind of doing little tidbits here and there of different little decorations and brightening up things using plants to get through the winter, because the winter is a really dreary time for me. So anyways, I have this dining room table mess to pick up because, again, we live here. My husband's mess in the morning and at night, and, you know, he's got to go to work, so he just puts it all in a neat pile, and that's pretty much where it stays. But I'll pick up the rest of the junk with the laptops. We do have a puzzle over here that my daughter's almost done with. She was going through a little bit of something, so the puzzle pieces are still all on top. But we had a bowl up here, and the bowl's gone. So all the puzzle pieces are on the puzzle, and she's finishing the very, very top. I have hopes she'll do that today. Our Christmas cactus started blooming before Thanksgiving. And this Christmas cactus has both fuchsia and these yellowy orange flowers. Words today, words. But it started blooming again. See that? It's really, really odd. We've got the wandering Jew up here. And this is where the doggy lays most of the time. I have to redo this bench. The aloe and this purple, antique purple shamrock. It's a like a shade plant. It's really, really cool. It closes up at night, and my daughter and my son-in-law gave this to me back when my son-in-law's mom passed away, and their dog was getting into it, and this can actually be toxic to animals who can't help themselves but chew everything. And it only had like 4 or 5 little shoots, and the rest were all like, this thing was very sad looking. So I gave it some bone meal, and I gave it some love and some other things, and blood meal, bone meal, and some new soil, fertilizer. So I fed it real good, kept it watered, and surprisingly, I need to replant that one over there, but surprisingly with this wood stove, it's actually done really well. So another thing I've done is I did this. So this is the color of these drawers that they used to be when it was my daughter's room. So I just did every other one a darker color. And I just kind of brushed it on to kind of just give it a look. You know, it's kind of worn. And this is where I keep the canning things. It's actually, see this towel up there hanging? This is actually an antique dresser for a child. So that's where they would hang their little hangers and hang their clothes. So I had repainted this a long time ago for my daughter's room, because obviously I had the really, really old, like 30s, 40s, like little rub-on things that they had on there with like little teddy bears and a little girl. And yeah, so now we're using it as a canning cupboard, and I just kind of painted a tree on it. There's not really much detail. It just kind of, the wind's blowing and sending the leaves off onto the drawers. So that was also recently done the end of last week. Yeah, so anyway, I'm getting really eager, as probably most of you, to get out for the spring to do some things. But meanwhile, I made dinner last night and I haven't done any of my pans. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. We're gonna get through all this crazy stuff that we have going on together as a community and personally with each other. Like, it's just now we're getting into this busy time. And again, I did think about stopping, but I'd miss all you guys. And the thing of it is that the stress isn't good for anyone. But as you guys know, I'm a strong but yet sensitive soul. So, you know, when I thought about quitting, it wasn't to give up. It's actually a strength to kind of walk away rather than be stubborn and hold on. You know what I mean? It was more of a strength for me to kind of take some time, which I'm still going to be taking for a while. To me, it feels like a strength to kind of just cut that for a little while and get done the things that I need to do. And sometimes I just let things around the house just go, or I would hurry up and do a bunch of stuff that I wanted to get done, or I knew needed to get done, not that I wanted to. And I would just rush in to go paint something. I'm really glad that I started painting again. It's been really good for me. And it's been good for my family and friends to see too. So A lot of my friends and family are a lot like me, where they actually get happiness and joy from seeing someone else happy and joyful. So yeah, that can be a thing. So yeah, everything is just kind of puffy, and of course I gained weight over the winter, but that's besides the point. But other than that, like, everything's just kind of, I feel better than I did. And I get up on 101s once in a while, and bushcrafts and trusts and crazy Irishes, but you know, other than that, I really haven't been around. And when I do get on YouTube, I'm watching these dumb videos. Or I watch this girl dance around her kitchen because I find that she's really a trip. And I've been watching gardening stuff again because I really miss gardening. And I've been going through watching some of my older videos, reminding me, okay, we had this here and that went good, and that, just whatever. I use my videos for reference. But yeah, other than that, we redid my daughter's room this year. We took out all of her carpet, her bed, everything. We replaced all her carpet with hardwood floors. It's gray, like the living room and the laundry room. And then we got her this really pretty bed. It's awesome. It's got drawers underneath the bed, and it's really high. And she went from a queen size to a full size, so she has a little bit more room. Not much room, not much more. You know, there's not much difference between a full and a queen, but there is if you go. Yeah. So, like, but she's in there alone, so, like, it's not a big deal for her. So she has those LED lights that it's like her headboard. It's got a place to put things on top, and underneath is like a reading light. There's these LED lights, so she just kind of touches the headboard. I mean, it's not that sensitive where, like, if you fall asleep and you're just like got strobes going on with the turning on and off the light, but it's really, really cool. It's like kind of like the screws on the ends. You just kind of touch them, and it goes from, you know, a certain kind of lighting up to, like, I think it's like 3 times it gets brighter, and then you do it and it goes back down. So I found out all states don't get a star check, a kickback on their taxes that they've paid, but in New York State you do. So even way up here in the Adirondacks, they still give us that check. So every year that check is usually used for something around the house or outside the house. And this year my husband's like, it's her turn to kind of get the things that, you know, she's like, well, why don't you guys redo your room? And we're like, no, we're fine. Like, you're going to get yours done first. She couldn't quite understand that, but as mom and dad, we just wanted her to be able to get the carpet out, put the flooring in, and get that new bed. Yeah, so we did that. I want to say that was even that was before Thanksgiving, I think. It was either before Thanksgiving or just after. I think it was before. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember. It's been a long winter. My brain is getting slippery with memories. But then I can remember things back from when I was like 1.5 years, 2 years old, 4 years old. So I don't really get it. Brain's a weird and mysterious place. And I know that that's weird to think of your brain as a place, but I'm going to get off here. I'm rambling. I'm really, really rambling. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Sorry I haven't been doing videos. A lot of you know why. But I'm gaining strength, and I can breathe, and that's important to me. So you guys stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you soon.